I'm growing some of the tallest commercial sunflower varieties with the goal of growing one over 12 feet tall.
I chose 4 tall commercial varieties and will test how each variety grows in 2 different gardens with 2 different gardening methods.
Why 12 feet?
Late 2016 began my obsession with tall sunflowers. In 2017, I grew the mammoth variety, reaching about 12 feet tall. In 2018, I grew a giant sunflower over 13 feet tall from an Autumn Beauty seed pack.
However, I have not been able to grow a 12-foot sunflower since then.
I chose 4 common commercial varieties known for growing tall sunflowers. First, we have Mongolian Giant, which is listed to grow up to 14 feet tall. Next, we have Pike's Peak. Pike's Peak is estimated to grow up to 15 feet tall. Titan is our third contender, with an estimated height of 10 to 14 feet. Last, we have Autumn Beauty. Autumn Beauty is only estimated at 7 feet tall. However, my experience in 2018 was much different. I initially covered all seeds with a basket to protect them from birds and squirrels. And I thoroughly watered each seed with roughly the same amount of water. Before planting the seeds, however, I had to prepare the gardens. The first step of which is to clear out the overgrown grass and weeds. The next step is to kill the fire ants, which, due to past conflicts, I prefer to boil alive. This folding saw is totally awesome for trimming my banana plants. Which leads me to my final prep step, which is to reclaim the sun. Which is actually way more fun to watch in reverse. Also, it kind of makes me look like I have superpowers. I also spent 10 whole seconds trimming the oak tree. For Garden 1, I decided to replicate what I did when previously growing sunflowers. I started with a weed barrier consisting of compostable takeout boxes made out of plant fibers. Next, I staked my sunflower positions, then covered the weed barrier in black cow. Since my camera froze in this most flattering position, I decided to portray the spreading of the composted cow manure with the most sophisticated of graphics. Finally, I covered Garden 1 in a thick layer of mulch. For Garden 2, I decided to make use of my trimmed banana stalks and leaves in a sort of compost-in-place type of method. First, I squared off the seedlings using cut-up pieces of the banana stalks. Then I laid down banana leaves throughout the garden. Next, I cut the banana stalks in half long ways then laid the half stalks upside down on top of the banana leaves. And finally, I added mulch on top. First, let's look at the progress for Garden 1. Here is a graphical representation of the growth data that I collected for Garden 1. Now for a quick look at the progress in Garden 2. And of course, the growth data for Garden 2.
Unfortunately, I did not quite reach my goal of a 12-foot sunflower this year.
Mongolian Giant did get close, however, with 11 feet 6 inches in Garden 1 and 11 feet 5 inches in Garden 2. Both Mongolian Giant plants reach maturity at 12 weeks old. The third place sunflower was a bit of a surprise. While the seed came out of a Pike's Peak packet, the resulting plant in Garden 1 had multiple branches and flowers, whereas the Pike's Peak plant in Garden 2 only had one flower. Researching the Burpee website for sunflowers with multiple branches led me to believe that the plant in Garden 1 is likely the Kong variety and not Pike's Peak, or possibly even a hybrid. So Kong came in third place at 11 feet 1 inch tall. It was also the thickest stalk at 5.5 inches around. In fourth place is Titan from Garden 1 at 10 feet 8 inches tall. This plant reached maturity at 12 weeks old. In fifth place is the actual Pike's Peak from Garden 2. It reached 9 feet 11 inches tall at 10 weeks old. Autumn Beauty is in sixth place. It reached 9 feet 6 inches tall at 14 weeks old. I chose Autumn Beauty due to massive success in 2018. However, this year's Autumn Beauty makes me believe that plant may have either been a fluke or a hybrid. In seventh place is the Titan plant in Garden 2 at 7 feet 10 inches tall. It matured at only 9 weeks and appeared somewhat stunted, but still very beautiful. Plus, it was absolutely brimming with seeds. Unfortunately, the Autumn Beauty plant in Garden 2 died at around 4 weeks old.
Reduced sunshine might be one possible reason that my sunflowers are not as tall as previously.
My oak trees, bananas, and other plants are blocking more sun than they did in 2018.
Another reason might be the time of year that I seeded them. In 2017 and 2018, I seeded my sunflowers 6 full weeks earlier than I did this year. Perhaps seeding them later causes them to mature faster due to the intense Florida heat in the summer and thus not be as tall. Let me know what tall sunflower varieties and fertilizer methods you recommend in the comments below.